Okay. I may be turning off the microphone here on and off throughout this recording. I've discovered already that it makes an audible click in my little test run on this. I'm not sure you describe it exactly as a click, but okay, here's one of my pre-CPU builds before they released CPU, hence why I renamed it the 10.5. And I'm going to save as, because I may try recovering this. And what I'm just, what I was messing around with here. Of course, that's just, this is just to indicate that I feel comfortable extending the nose out to here. I'll probably put some sort of shield on it. Probably have to replace most of the blocks here with, if I'm making it a heavier fighter, replace them, the current, I want to say this is before I started using the carbon substrate a whole lot to save CPU, because, well, at this point it didn't cost CPU for your hull blocks. So I may still upgrade that to the hardened steel, upgrade the thrusters to other stuff. But basically that means that the front of the ship I can extend out to here, probably to keep it within. Well, I was thinking extending it out to there, but I might actually just keep it. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But I know changing its shape, I'll probably feel like it needs to have the front end extended or changed in some way. So I'm not exactly sure with this where I go to make it a heavy fighter. But I was thinking that I might salvage this as a blueprint where I can actually use the new turrets on the SV, whereas the old one had no such thing. Right now, it just makes me think of Pinocchio, but it will that will definitely be something different going on there. Whether I just keep it to the original length. Actually, it got a little bit longer in the back to add some turrets back here. So I'm guessing I probably will extend the front a bit. And my intention is to make the sides a bit shorter, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go out this far, or if I just chop that off and just go out to that. I'm really uncertain what I'm doing there yet. So, but part of the reason I started messing with this is to see if I would salvage that blueprint with a new purpose, and then this actually used to be a starter SV, a little more on the expensive side, but it didn't, as you see over here, it did not have any of the jet sort of things. Let's see, the game, this material, well, no, the material requirements have not changed really much, other than probably the exact numbers, but it was all iron, nothing, no advanced materials. And then it was actually designed that we already had the shields at that point. You could drop or a warp drive, I should say. You could drop the warp drive down in there, your pentaxic tank on the side. Did we have the shields already? No, it was, you did drop your warp drive down there. I'm not sure what you dropped in there. That's right, this one, it was the pentaxic tank went in the back. And if we had the shields already, I probably had a place prepared for it, but I cannot think. And of course, it's pre-CPU, so there's, we also a lot of RCS in this thing. So I could probably bring its CPU cost down just from removing a bunch of those RCS and pre-R stuff. I'm still calling it 10.5, even though this is probably a bunch of that sort of stuff. Yeah. But what I'm looking at is, at one point, this was going to be one of my mining vessels. I didn't get very far with it. You just see a hull to it, and this space here I was thinking about it. Actually, what you do is park that one sideways. There was a different SV, what I called it, the Motivation, which was a good size SV. That actually parked in there that way. So the Dream could park in sideways. So you kind of flew it in sideways. It was kind of interesting, but you could fly it in sideways, and the Motivation fit in that stuff. I'm not sure about the Dream. I'm thinking about salvaging the Motivation. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. But as I think about this, if I'm remaking this, I will probably completely remake it. I will probably, whatever I'm making from it, I'll probably try to be inspired by this. And so there may be something about this that I use as my inspiration for what I build. So it might be, do I still build it so it's basically kind of a sideways CV, so it's wider than it is long? Or do I change it up and it's more this way with something on the side like this is? Or the other way around, maybe it's towards the front, something on the side. I'm not sure. I'll just be using this as an inspiration. What I wanted to do today is, let's see, I'll need a ore container. Don't need these because I'm just doing I want to figure out an arrangement for the drills. Because and I'm pretty sure I have it around here somewhere. The Pekin Tier 2, and you don't see it from the back here, but if you look at the workshop page here, the mining lasers on the front. Actually, that's my capital vessel over there, right there, the Pekin T2. Which the Pekin would probably make a very good starter vessel, cargo-wise, if it wasn't for the fact that the ore container is an unlock level 20. So the Pekin T2 is an unlock level 20, or the Pekin, not the Pekin T2 is unlock level 25, and I think that's for the multi-turret. I think that's what it is. That makes it level 25. I'd have to look that up. Capital vessel, tool turrets. So it's unlock level 20. So what did I throw on there? Maybe it's the shield. It's a tier 2 shield. Unlock level 15. What did I throw on there? That would be unlock. Because I'm pretty sure that's unlock 25. Unlock level 25. Warp is not that high. Shield. And I'm pretty sure the tier 2 extender was not that high. Unlock level 10. What is it? Oh, the mining lasers. The mining lasers. Instead of using if I'd used the tool turret, it'd probably been unlocked that's right, the mining lasers, which I've enjoyed on it. I've actually really been enjoying with it. Not to say which is better, or the mining drill turret or the mining lasers. It's not for me to say which is better or not, but in my case, what do I enjoy? And I have been enjoying on my capital vessel those mining lasers. So what I want to do is I want to find an arrangement, because this works. It works, but there are many times when I'm mining something that I'll really only be mining with one side, and totally I'm either just collecting rocks off the asteroid from the other side, or just shooting them off into space. And it'll vary which side I'm doing that with. So I was just wondering if I could just find myself a nice cluster of the turrets, that I'll find to my satisfaction. Of course, that means I'm hoping and I can find somewhere I can test this, in this creative. I want to say that I've been pinging and there's some unknowns out there, but I don't know if that's just structures it added to the creative game, or if there happens to be actually some asteroids in this creative that I can go out and do my testing with. Because testing on the ground, I don't need actually, for SVs, HVs to test mining on a planet. I just need rock, dirt, and that's pretty easy to just go and drill some holes through dirt and make sure that I'm actually it functions for so deposits aren't needed for that. I just need some place to do it. Let's see, that I need some capital vessel starter block. Okay, so capital vessel starter block. I need the mining lasers, because now it's down to capital vessel. Drill muzzle laser. Some of this stuff is the stuff I'm already picking. But we'll just... If this was my creative server, I'd have to be worried about CPU for CPU efficiency. That's been kind of interesting to see that, but this is not my creative server. This is actually a single player. So we have that, we have that. We're going to need some fuel. We're going to need thrusters. We don't need to go very fancy on that. And what else? Generator. What else do we need? Okay, we need the thrusters, generator, and a fuel tank. That and some place to control it. This will give us a core. We're not planning to move it because we're not doing anything fancy. This is just a testing of the drill arrangement, and that's just mostly so I can rearrange where I'm placing the drills, although I suppose I could just build it with container stuff, but I don't know where. Okay. In fact, that's probably would be simplify things if we just build it off the container blocks. They don't have to be they don't qualify as part of the container if they're not connected to the controller, but that would at least get me. And this, so then I think that would give me all my critical parts to build my test rigs. Okay, so how many arrangements am I going to test? No, it might be better to be near one of those asteroids when I start doing this. That might be wise. Yeah. So where are we right now? Perspiration. Okay, get back to this. And I should have, theoretically, a waypoint here so I can find my way back to this. And it would be tempting to just despawn it, but I'm too lazy to despawn the other ones as well at the moment. Okay. And here we have our detector. and unknown question mark 13.2, 14, 12.39. Let's pull up the map. They're marking it as resource deposits. Let's go for this one. But the thing is that on the perspiration for the remake of it, one of the thoughts that's going through me, the motivation is not going to be built into, if I recover that, I don't see myself making that into a mining SV. I could be wrong. Maybe I make it a larger mining SV or something like that. Most likely what I'm going to do is if I do eventually recover and rebuild that blueprint for CPU compliance, version 1 of the game, and so forth, if I do that, it's probably going to be more of a heavy gunship. Passenger transport, probably put the sentry turrets on it. More of a gunship / troop transport, I suppose. So I was thinking what would be more appropriate for the perspiration to carry is my mining SV, and the one I currently have is much smaller than that, so I could get away with a much smaller hangar. Okay. The deposit looks nice and rich, potentially, but it's not the deposit I was looking for. I was looking, because you can mine just the rock. For my testing purposes, I just need to mine rock just as fine. I suppose let's get up a little closer. So when I'm alternating between test beds, I don't have as far to go. Okay. 1, 2. Let's see if I can think of a third arrangement. Okay. Let's throw a controller, the cargo controller in there. There's probably no way I'm going to come close to filling this up, but let's see. Wow. Don't need to get very fancy with this. Actually, it's very tempting to just say, like, blueprint this test bed, and instead of these, let's see, this is 12 to 29, so just say destroy 1229. So we blueprint that, and then we can just do our other arrangements, spawn it in again. 1230. I'll just call this CV mining testbed. Okay, save as. Test. Ah, container talking test. My old, yep. And then, my test cube. Now I have my test bed for CV mining. Okay. So. Oh, I know what I should update this with a couple pieces yet, and then save it. I forgot we need a generator. This isn't going to work very well without power. And we need a fuel tank. And let's see, generator, fuel tank. We got the thrusters in each direction. So all we're missing now is, oh yeah, we got a cockpit. So came with the CV starter. So that's the only thing we're missing now is the laser drills themselves. So I'm going to go ahead, overwrite that. Okay, so actually, well, it's to get a little more to what I represent, what I was thinking of. It won't be quite that close to the cockpit. Probably more, at least this far over, and probably slightly, or probably a bit further over actually, but this will give us initial test. So it's going to make it lopsided, and the final CV may not have the same. Oh, and fuel. Yes. Okay, that's roughly right about what I expected. Okay, so it's a tighter cluster than what's on the Pekin T2, but the same amount of mining lasers. It's just got a tighter cluster, so it'll be a little better that way. So just an same number of mining lasers, but an improvement to the cluster, and I think that will be very helpful. Spawn in another one. And what sort of arrangements can I dream up? Okay, so we want it to off to the side, because that's probably what I'm going to do is probably build some sort of cluster instead of separated by the capital vessel. So off to one side. What is the official limit? Maximum amount is the standard vanilla limit on that. Yes, that's right. Fuel it up. Power it on. Okay, punched a hole clean through. One of the things I'm paying attention to on the cluster here is the fact that it's not leaving a unmined spike in the center. Because these ones, on the Pekin, they're actually the one side, the right and the left are far enough apart. They actually, well, why don't I demonstrate? And this is what I'm trying to find out an arrangement I like. It's not that I'm adverse to some of the lasers missing the stuff when I'm, because when I'm doing some of the stuff where the lasers miss, quite often it's because let's see, we'll go down here to demonstrate. Quite often it's because I'm trying to get some of the fine details that are left over the scraps. But the problem here I have, if you pay attention, they're mining on each side, punching holes clean through, but it leaves a ridge there in the center. Now what I'll do is then I'll just skip the Pekin to the side a little bit. And it can punch clean through again, and I've gotten it. But now I've also then picked up a whole bunch of dirt or whatever, or just stuff. So looks like I'm getting a work call. Well, that was a work call. I got some work to do. So maybe I will just talk a little bit while I use the wrong password for work, apparently. On the positive side, I am not using the same password everywhere, which is a good thing. Oh, that's right. Okay. password and passwords so many times. I guess I'm not a great conversationalist after all I'm doing here because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. Wait, no. On this server, I do not log into that account. Go there. This might take a moment. But if that's not enough to get things back up, the next step will take even longer. In which case, then I probably play my game for a little bit while I wait for things. Because it will be, you know, they have the little thing on the process. You know, this can take 5 to 6 minutes. You know, time for a coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee, or I think they may have even mentioned hot cocoa or something like that. You know, as their little thing. You know, the stuff acknowledging that some of us do not drink coffee. But yeah, I'm hoping that it'll be as simple as what I'm doing on this particular server. I don't have to jump over to the other servers, because if this will fix the issue, then okay, which means I probably got to get myself set up to test that this fixes the problem. One of the joys of being one of the server guys is, and especially on some of the critical servers for the business, for my employer, means that if there's issues with it, even on my days off, I happen to be salary. So I suppose technically, depending on your point of view, I don't have days off. I just have days that I'm, you know, days and times I'm supposed to be working. Other times I may work as needed during those off hours. So and I should know here in just a okay, well, it looks like send off an email to my managers and to the help desk. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I have tried 2 arrangements. Both of them I found satisfactory. The one employs just 4 drill lasers. The other one employs 6. So of course the 6, I'm getting a bigger hole, you know, because there's okay. Let's do one more. this one I am going to Pekin has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks between. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between because I'm going to put the lasers out here. So they'll be just a little bit closer together. Not a whole lot, a little bit closer together. And then I don't think these things are airtight, are they? Retractable, true. Maximum amount. Are they airtight though? Would it even reveal that? Show airtight blocks. Well, I'm not sure that really works out here in no, I didn't think they were airtight. Okay, so which means in that case, if I'm building an airtight CV and I was surrounding these around the cockpit, I'd want at least, I mean the minimum would be 1 block and it'd be tight, but for looks and appearances, because I do like to try to do some appearance that I would like, I'm probably going to have at least 2 blocks for my space, which means I would need at least 4 blocks for the airtightness, which means I could have one of these just a tad, yeah, let's do that, just one of these a tad closer. Just try to keep the cluster a little tighter. Although I am kind of tempted to put it out there, but then they're all that 5 block off. So in this case, I'm be testing whether that is close enough. So that I'm not punching a hole in the middle. Fill all. Oh, turn this thing on. Yeah, these things spin like crazy right now, and I just want to really just punch through and make sure I'm not leaving a hole in the center. Okay, that makes me wonder if I could do, let's jump out of the cockpit and let's actually change the alignment of that and that, and we'll give it a symmetry of sorts, a symmetry to the drills is what I'm looking for here right at the moment. Okay. is a part missing, but that could be in part because of the mining of the, because I've been mining through this thing multiple directions, and so it might have set up for that part to be missed. So I'm thinking to really test this arrangement, I may need to go find somewhere I have not pre-punched. Which, well, let's say there was another one not too far off from here. Come on, come on. Off of here. But to find it, I am going to need a detector. Because my memory of where it was is not that good. Oh, it's 7 kilometers away. Is that where it is? Okay. Now I was thinking that they were closer together, but maybe not. But I want to give this this arrangement one more test, and then if this succeeds, then I'll be at that point. I'll have to choose. Am I choosing this array around a cockpit, which does have its advantages that you'll be pointing directly at what you're trying to mine for the central mining, and then just, when I'm trying to clean up details, clean up the ores, maybe trying to do some of the side-to-side stuff. Oh, another promethium. That's fine. Or am I doing one of the other arrangements where I'm, doing a tighter cluster of the drills, but off to one side of the turret, or one side of the capital vessel? Oh, helps if I change. Looks like the debris artifact in the middle is not necessarily a. Looks like it is part of this arrangement. So if I wanted to get rid of that, I'd probably have to bring it in a little closer. Which means if I'm experimenting with this, let's bring this in. Let's bring that in. Which would still actually give me, because I could take advantage of the fact that if I had airtight blocks here and here and here, and then going around along the bottom, I'd still have a space of 2x3 for my cabin, my airtight cabin, which still will give me plenty to work with for making my cockpit. Of course, I'm just playing around with this concept at the moment. Let's test the drilling. Okay. I got a little artifact there at the side, which would in this case, a little artifact on the side is just a simple rotation. Should take it out. Spin the drill. Now, it's not necessarily that I'm really planning to fly a CV through the hole, although it'd be kind of fun to be able to, yes, I drilled a hole and now my capital vessel can fit through it. But considering the CV I plan to build will probably be too big, this is just a test rig, and the test rig, yeah, sure, whatever. But the CV itself is going to be wider because I intended to be my next CV to actually have a larger capacity. So okay. Well, perhaps before we go back there, let's okay, so little tighter on the arrangement on this one, and it's acceptable. So I think I've found 3 acceptable arrangements. Which one do I choose to go with? I've yet to decide. But I think they all do a good job of punching the hole I'm looking for without leaving what I consider to be an annoying miss spot in the middle, which I demonstrated is not that hard to deal with the Pekin, but it would be nice if I didn't. If I'm building an actual dedicated mining capital vessel, something better built for the purpose than the Pekin is. And the Pekin does its purpose well. But if I'm building something, that's see, the Pekin only is a tier 2, but if I'm going to build something that starts off tier 2 and upgrades to a tier 3 version or something like that, I'm probably going to want something that that it's actually, for me, worth going from the Pekin to this other capital vessel as an alternative for mining. Okay. So 3 different arrangements to pick from. 2 of them would probably be more well suited for. Well, the one probably could do a cockpit in the middle. As I said, it's just a little tighter than I'd like. This one happens to actually be that one, just another block spaced in between. So they're just a little further apart on the height. But I think this also could make a very good arrangement for sorry about that. I think it's still a good arrangement for a side mining cluster. This is how I'd probably use it. So, am I just going to go with 4 mining lasers, which has been quite sufficient, like the Pekin? Or do I upgrade? Well, I probably will upgrade to one of these. Granted, that cluster might still be interesting to keep in mind for something else in the future, maybe. Well, as I contemplate my options from here, I guess I gave you a little video of some of the times, some of the thoughts I go into designing some of my vessels. I don't know when or how long it'll be before I finish the capital vessel that will be based off of my little experimentation here, but you got to see me satisfy my curiosity and test out a few arrays of mining lasers, and those who are watching it, if they're building a mining capital vessel that uses the lasers instead of the or as an option for a mining with a capital vessel for the asteroids. You know, maybe my little playing around with here may be inspiration for your works. Okay, well, enjoy.